Welcome to WoolTalks January 21. And this is my fictional boss, Story Sheep, and my name is Anne Kalliomäki, and I'm a pioneer of storification from Finland. And this time on WoolTalks, I have Rositsa Röntynen here with me, and we will be talking about Southern Konnevesi tourist destination storification project that we did together with Rosi maybe something like 2 years ago or something like that. But first of all, maybe we start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Rosi, and how did you end up working in the Southern Konnevesi project, and how did you find me to help you with your project?
Well, hi, I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for this opportunity. It was a very exciting project within my project to do this storification for the region. And it had many different stages. So I think it's very nice to tell about it. So now when in retrospective, when we have 2-3 years gone already, how I found your service, I don't really remember exactly how, but it's kind of word of mouth, that because you're a pioneer of storification, like everybody first has your name to offer for storification projects. About me working for Southern Konnevesi, well, it was probably it was just destiny. I was a person that never wanted to have anything to do with tourism, and then I ended up in the tourism field. Actually, when the National Park of Southern Konnevesi was founded, I got very excited because I live in the area. I live in Konnevesi municipality, and I wanted to really do something for my own region. And I had the luck to get the job, and then I was involved in these projects for 3 years, and probably about 2 years in advance before the projects, I have been doing some smaller things for the region. So from the very beginning, even before it was founded, I was very much attached to the national park. And then we had this idea that we are going to have the destination that is bigger than the national park. So my main task there in the projects was actually to build the services around the national park and to build the image of the national park so that we have the destination as a whole.
Why did you feel that you need storification in the area?
Well, storification is a very powerful and efficient tool for service design. When I was a project manager at Southern Konnevesi, I was working in 2 small municipalities in the Finnish countryside. So the resources were very scarce. We don't talk about organizations that have their big marketing departments full of experts, but really small municipalities, and each person that works in them has a million different tasks, but usually it's not a very narrow expert of any field. And within my project also, I had very limited resources, both in terms of money and time. So I needed one solution that resolves, well, not all, but maybe many of my problems. First of all, to unify the understanding of a network of more than 80 entrepreneurs from small and micro companies about the new tourism destination, what it is, what are the values that we should share together, and that we coexist in this destination. And I had to do it from within. the other problem that I had was how to develop new tourism products, but without intervening personally. So I was not allowed to go to some company and say, this is a good product for you, take it, and for free. But I had to do something, so they come up with these ideas. There was also another problem that I needed marketing materials for this new national park and new tourism destination. And because it was new, there were no marketing materials. And I needed materials that will also spread fast and easy over the social networks very virally. So storification was the answer of all these problems for me. At that time, I didn't even know of any other companies that offer this service. So it was an easy choice.
A lot of problems to solve also for storification. Yes, that sounds good. And then what happened? We did the story workshop. We did it first only for the companies and entrepreneurs. I think we had this kind of story tree workshop where we spent like the morning, the other half of the day, the first half of the day, we spent on finding the core story for the whole Southern Konnevesi. And then after that, after lunch, we did spend the rest of the day for companies trying to find their own core story, find their own story elements by using story tree method. And that's how we started. And then after that, I think we started talking and you started saying that maybe you need my help more, that we should start creating the core story and so on.
Yeah, but let me get to the very beginning. So first I tried to arrange this workshop with the entrepreneurs, but it was really difficult. And the first 2 times I failed totally because I had to sell them the idea that you need storification. And okay, everybody is telling stories in their everyday lives about their families and about their friends and about their work and all the kinds of stories. But nobody's doing it with intention and nobody's doing it consciously. So it was like, they were like, what? Why do I need storification? So I had to convince them, but with the time, maybe I spoke to so many people that at once they realized that yeah, actually that is a good idea, because storification is a kind of a word monster, and it's something that is not very I don't know, not known, not enough known. So I needed really to sell this story, and once I did it, I remember it was a Saturday, and I think this is the first and only workshop that I have ever arranged on a Saturday out of all the kinds of office hours. And it was in November. It was cold outside, and it was the beginning of moose hunting in Finland. But of course, part of the tourism entrepreneurs were also hunters. And surprisingly, we got even some hunters to the workshop. So they preferred to come to storification workshop instead of going hunting. So that was amazing. And then also some of the participants got inspired before the workshop, and they asked me, can we perform something as a beginning of the workshop? And I said, yeah, please do so. And they came dressed up with traditional clothes and performed some drum music and something for relaxation, and told their own story. And it was so amazing as a beginning that after that everybody was inspired and everything went very well. First we got the core story of the region, and then as you said, then the entrepreneurs use it as a base and started developing their own company stories. And I'm glad to see that even nowadays these stories are still in use.
That's really, really great to hear. Yeah, something very important, I think you said there, that there was a bit these thoughts about storification and what is it and is this useful and how can we use it, and of course we know the storytelling and all of that. I think that is very, very familiar to me, that there is this kind of beforehand, before the story workshop, there is always a bit like this, is this useful, what this has got to do with my business and all of that. And then when people really come to workshop and start seeing that what are we really talking about, that we are not talking about storytelling only in a way that it's about telling stories, but it's about this differentiation and how you can use a story as a tool to design and to lead everything you do in your company and in your everyday work. Do you remember this kind of shift in the workshop or in the mindset?
Yeah, sure. There was this shift. I think it for a person who is doing not like development work like me and you, but something very concrete in a company and performing the same tasks and seeing the results every day, like the entrepreneurs, especially in tourism, are doing. It's first it's hard to visualize what would be the result of a storification workshop, but after that, yeah, definitely they have used the elements and used the stories, and definitely I used the story, this core story of the region, the destination, in many ways after that. But this is something that probably just you can't see when you're planning it, you just see the result afterwards.
Yeah, and it's kind of the trouble of marketing the idea of storification. As a storification pioneer, I have felt this difficulty of really, making people see what is it all about. But that is the reason why we are doing this video here also now, to let people know what is the storification process like. And
but
then,
also I would like to mention that it's very amazing what is the result of this kind of core story workshop. It's really amazing because this concept of co-creation now is very popular, but I really like it. It's very useful because I think no person can like come up with these big ideas only in his or her small brain. So you need many more brains that work together, so you have this amazing result. And I have been participating in a few storification workshops by now, and every time the result is really surprising because it's not the cliches that somebody is forcing on the people, like coming from the municipality, coming from the project manager, or somebody, just one person that, yeah, this is my opinion and I like you to work with it. No, but this is a unique co-creation moment that these local people working in that field spent together. And sure, there are some compromises at some point, but also there are a lot of ideas that get their wings. They get support from the others once they're expressed by somebody. And of course, you have to be very careful if you have some milestones. We had these milestones, that some things that definitely we need to mention because of some rules, and because we needed the equality between the two municipalities and the national park, so they needed to be present there, and some symbolism that we needed there, but we decided that we needed there. Nobody else decided, but it was us who decided to have it there. So this co-creation, this is probably the power of storification.
It is so great to hear you talk about that co-creation and how storification is enabling that to happen. And I think I have seen that so many times also, and I think that there is something that we are now talking quite a lot in tourism, how we can make companies in certain destination work together, and storification and the shared core story, destination core story, can be something that brings people together and makes the creation flow, as you said.
I don't remember the exact case, but there was something that a few entrepreneurs actually found a connection between their families during the workshop. I don't remember exactly how it was, but it was all connected.
Yeah,
there was some historic figure that they used all in their stories, and then they were like, oh, we are like family.
Yeah, that's also good. That's something that I am very grateful that I get to witness in storification workshop, that these things start to happen, that people start to see, companies start to see that there is this connection between what they do, and they start seeing, okay, we could offer something together because our stories are somehow connected. So maybe we talk a little bit about this core story, what we found, what was the core story, and then what happened after that. We started making the video together with Jarkko.
Well, the core story was short. It was about 2-minute read, probably 1 page or something, a little bit more. It really got these surprising elements. For example, in our region, we are talking very much about the wild brown trout, but it was actually that nobody mentioned it during the workshop. So we couldn't include it just afterwards in the story, me and you, Anne. So there were other kinds of fish that came into the attention, and it was the bendes, and it was one of the main things we talked about in the core story. And then there was this character that like he tells the story and he was kind of a face that is part of the rock in the national park, like a rock face. The old guy from Capuna. And it was really amazing that these kind of small elements that otherwise are not coming into attention when we are thinking about big things, when we are thinking about infrastructure and investment and so on, and they came into the stories, and this was so impulsive, and it came from within. But the thing is that, yeah, we have done, and we had done before that, some other marketing videos to guide the tourists into the national park, and then some cooperations with different TV programs. But I felt like they're all going by the same script. And this core story was different. At some point I decided that I need this additional marketing material. So with you, we modified the core story to make it as a script of a marketing video. But this time the video was different. I remember that we were thinking about each and every word, what it really means, that there is no misunderstanding or misleading when we mention it in the video. And so we also had a really great team, me, you, and the video producer. And on my side, I also had the locals that were keeping this whole process very close to the roots. And I think the most difficult part was when we were deciding what will be the slogan in the end of the video. I think we had like 10 versions, and we had to decide which one is the best. And every time when we made a round of deciding, okay, this is not good, and excluding those versions, then the rest of the versions that we still had on, we had to modify them. And then we were again in a different group, like having the voting, okay, which one is better? And this was like endless. It was so difficult because there were so small differences between them. And then about the shooting of the video, of course, that it included a lot of logistics, and with the video producer, we decided in which places we are going to shoot. And of course, me as a person who ordered the video, I was like, yeah, I want this, and I want this, and I want this. And he was the one who was keeping it like realistic. And I was like, yeah, I would like to have some fog over the lake and something very mystical, but the weather was not exactly like that. But we actually had really good luck with the weather. And I got the locals to come and participate in the video. I think this was a very important part, because by taking part, they also realized how important this is.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from the video?
I have gotten really, really positive feedback, and I should say myself, even though I was involved in this process from the very beginning, like from the time we got the core story from the workshop until the time that, from the time we started modifying the core story as a video script until the time that I got the video ready, it was like 4 months. This is not something that like you do in this kind of conversation here. It was really very specific and very strict work. But in the end, when I saw the product, the video is ready, it was so amazing. I remember that I cried. And for me, it was like I see it for the first time, even though I have been step by step all the time in this process. Yeah. But it was something really new. It was a different point of view, and it was so perfect, exactly because of the story. Because, as I said, we had different videos before that, after that, but the story made it real and very influential. And I think that I have never heard anybody that says that this video is, for example, boring or useless, or money that is not well spent.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the core of the core story, the main idea was that we kind of brought alive these käpynäs, how to say, käpynäs
The old men.
Käpynä's old man and his wife that can be found in the stones just above the lake. So it was it was fun project, and I think quite typical that there is something that has been there all the time. Käpynä's ukko and akka, the Käpynä's man and his wife had been there in those stones all the time, but it had never been used as the characters for the Southern Konnevesi in this way that we now started using them. Of course, it's important to say that when we are doing storification, it's about making the service experiences, the customer experiences into a story. So the whole marketing communications is only one place to make the story alive. And of course, the core story is mainly to be used as a tool for every company to start being part of that story and using somehow the story elements in that core story in their own products and experiences that they are offering to clients. So how do you see that? What are the benefits for this kind of tourist destination storification work? Why should tourist destinations start defining these core stories, these kind of engaging core stories that can be like the roots of the story identity for the destination?
Well, as I said earlier, storification is a very powerful tool. It's a powerful tool in terms of service design and marketing, but also unifying the community is an important part. Activating the locals to have different actors like playing the same game, talking, like speaking the same language. This is really important, and this is something that storification can do. And it's also cost efficient because with one workshop or like one project, like you direct all your resources in one direction, and you get so versatile results. Yeah. So I think this is the best. This is the main reason why to choose exactly that kind of tool, because service design is a very wide area. You can have very many different tools, but I think especially for tourism, it's very relevant to have storification, because the stories are part of the culture. Culture is part of the tourism and part of the responsible tourism. If you go to a destination that doesn't offer you good stories, doesn't tell you where these places and people come from, this is not a responsible destination. This is something that is just somebody has come up with it. Oh yeah, let's have a destination here and make some money. Yeah. But they should also explain you why this is there, who is it helping, why it is important for local people to have the tourism over there, and so on. How their traditions have been working in old times, and how they are preserved until today, and how can you respect them in the right way. So this is the responsibility in tourism, and this is being told and expressed by stories. So storification is really important.
What can go wrong what is something that, what do you think that we need to consider when we are creating this kind of tourist destination core story and starting to use this storification, story-driven service design?
Well, in our case, it went really well. So I don't have so much experience as you do, but I think it can be problematic if the participants in the initial workshop come with different ideas about the outcomes. They don't understand that what the storification is, even on a basic level, or they don't know what their region is. This cannot be the first thing you do for the destination, unless you have the resources to do it twice or three times maybe. But first you have to talk with these people to have the basic understanding about things, so they don't start pulling in different directions. That is wasting everybody's time during the workshop and during the work that follows the workshop.
Yeah, that's a good point. That it's important that there is some kind of understanding about what we are, what we want to be, how we want to be branding, and how do we want to be different than other tourist destinations, and what are the special things that we got to offer, and so
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not like a perfect understanding between each other, but it's enough if the participants are not really strongly disagreeing on each other's views.
Yeah.
This would be really problematic.
Yeah. And I think one thing that I have been seeing is that there is, which was really good with Southern Konnevesi, that it was not happening, that there is this, when we are doing this kind of regional tourist destination storification, that we have this very engaging, very fun and different idea and the core story that has been done in the story workshop, and everybody is like very lightened up. Yes, this is what we got to do. This is very different, and this is very something that feels that it is who we are, we want to be, and everything. And then we go, how to say, to this maybe city marketing department or somebody from high above comes and says that no way, this is not gonna happen, that we cannot do this, and this is not part of our city brand or something like that. And then we are like, we start going to this same old gray thinking and gray way of doing things.
Yeah, well, we had the advantage that we didn't have the marketing departments, but of course there were some people above us and some people with different priorities. But if storification is being used, it needs to be used as a part of the branding. It's not something that you can just have the brand book and then stick the story to it. This is not how it works.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, what is important is that as you said, that the brand is something that needs to be part of the core story workshop. Of course, that it's not something, it cannot be something that is totally opposite of the city brand or of the destination brand. But of course, there are these more, how to say, more fun ways maybe to make that brand become alive when it comes to storification.
Yeah, and of course, I also mentioned that we had some milestones. There were some things that we just needed to to mention in the story, but they also were things that we agreed on. They weren't like some bureaucrat somewhere has said that I want this in the story, but it was like everybody agreed that these are good things to mention.
What would you say to someone who is considering starting to work with me? What comes to maybe storification workshops and maybe making this kind of regional tourist destination core story work?
I can only recommend, because the work with you has been really fluent and everything has worked out really well. We get the results according to the objectives, and there is a lot of creativity in the air, okay, but also I think the thing that I like the most about working with you is that we don't have this connection, this power relationship that I'm the one who ordered the work and you're the one who is doing it, so get me the results. But we have this really equal relationship that we are discussing the things as equals. Yeah, maybe that would be good and maybe this will be good, and it's like something that clears the air from the very beginning when you notice that you have this kind of open conversation, and the other person is open to all the kinds of comments, good and bad. So I think this is the best thing actually about working with you, and it's really rare.
Oh, so yeah, thank you so much. That's means very much to me to hear that, because it's very important for me to do the work. Do the work the way that I do. Very. And I think that is something that there's something maybe people are not so used to. It comes a bit from my background from the film and TV, where we are used to kind of having this maybe a very passionate open talk about this story we are creating in film and TV world. But I think in the business world we are a bit sometimes it's not so, we might not be so used to that we can openly creatively talk about, and somehow the focus is not so much who said it, whose idea was it, but the focus is how can we make this better, how can we all be proud what comes out of this work that we do together.
Definitely, I agree.
Oh, thank you so much, Rosi. This has been so wonderful to hear your thoughts about this Southern Konnevesi tourist destination project, and we will have the video here near this video, so you can go and check out the Southern Konnevesi video that we made. But always remember that the storification is not about video marketing, it's about creating the core story that becomes alive in everything we do, and people can start experiencing the story experiences that we are offering to them. So
thank you. And watch the video and come visit us at Southern Konnevesi.
Yes, that was good. Definitely go and visit Southern Konnevesi. And this was January 21 WoolTalks this time. See you next time on WoolTalks.